Yo, it's good, LinkedIn. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about chargebacks. What are they? Why are they happening? And how can we mitigate them? I'll keep it short. So chargebacks, I'll just show you. These are just a few from UNFI loads. So for instance, loads that are, 31 to 60 minutes late for a scheduled delivery appointment that will be charged $54. Then you see 161 minutes and above, $204 per time this happens. Here's a good one. If you're say your delivery gets there, but it didn't have an appointment, but the DC still allows it to, drop off, you're getting dinged with $304. So that's pretty bad. So why do they happen? Well, let's face it. They happen because it's a lack of planning, lack of strategy. I say, stop treating your supply chain like an auction. And yes, it's kind of funny. Well, maybe to me or other supply chain people, but it's the truth. Like to think that, you can go out there and continue, especially in the CPG industry, when you're going into these big box retailers, you're going into these distribution centers. Listen, yes, you need competitive rates, but that should not be the main source of how you're deciding what carrier to use, what 3PL to use. That is what's killing you and making you eat a ton more money. It's not as difficult as I think people make it to be, right? It's just you need to learn your key cost drivers. You need visibility into things like this. Obviously, key cost drivers are specific to, each individual company, but this is one that needs to be looked at for every company that is going into distribution, big box retailers, yes, CPG. That's just, I focus mainly on that. So don't treat it like an auction. You need everybody involved. And I talk about this, frequently, but it's like you need it from top down, executive leadership, all the way down to the dock workers. It just everybody needs to have a main goal. It has to benefit each department, right? Explain that. And then what's the big goal, right? For the entire organization, because you're bleeding money if you're not having any type of plan or strategy that's based around your specific needs as well as your customers. And these are happening, guaranteed, whether you see it or not. And what a lot of times happens is, people think it's just, let's go drive down rates some more. And it's like, listen, 9 times out of 10, it's not even a rate play. It's just getting more visibility. So I want to share something else with you guys. People talk about technology and all this and visibility just for the sake of visibility. This is a big one. I look at this for every customer I have, besides, even the customers that aren't going into big box, I'm pulling this, whether they ask me for it or not. Most like to see this, but regardless, I use this for me as rebill management, right? I talk about root cause analysis. This is what's going to help me figure out, hey, was it a my team issue? Was it my customer's issue? Was it the carrier? What is it? We need a root cause of to mitigate any of these chargebacks. So this is just something real quick. No need to get into the weeds on that. But again, so chargebacks, yes, they're going to always happen eventually. Sometime, some way, it's shipping, right? Things are going to happen, and chargebacks just don't have to happen from the distros. It could be a reway, a reclass, whatever it may be. What you were quoted wasn't what you were billed, or maybe it was, and then you get a bill 3 months later because you were, again, I just showed it, late. So how do we mitigate this? Well, first and foremost, if you don't have especially the CPG, emerging growth stage brands, or anybody, honestly, if you don't have the cost budget, resources, overhead, or just quite frankly, just don't have the time, partner up with 3PL that has it all, can offer you the technology, the visibility, the team, the resources, has the volume and scale for, and those partnerships with all their carriers, specifically LTL too. People say they have, you'll hear a lot of times people say they have these relationships with these LTL carriers. But again, I've been fortunate enough to work for, some bigger 3PLs, and, not everybody has those relationships. Trust me. So But yes, partner with one company. You don't need to go spend a bunch of money on technology to automate, if you know, or hiring massive amounts of people when you don't have the money to, whatever it may be. 1-3PL can get it done for you. And it's I've been doing this since 2013, 14. And I've been, I've been saying I feel like a black swan, but truthfully, this model has worked. It's just, we're such in a transactional industry that I think that we're over, the people that do go out here and, are trying to be more of a consultant and, help you with your entire supply chain, not just, throwing you a rate. We're overpowered by the rate guys, our girls. So that's my rant. But yes, if you're looking for, if you want someone to, at least do a deep dive and show you exactly, what your current state is, if you're what your future state could be, if you think you're getting dinged, listen, competitive rates will be there. Listen, it wouldn't make any sense if someone was to come in, or I was to come in and I was like, oh, I'm 40% higher on transportation costs, but we're going to save you a little bit of money on the chargebacks. No, it has to make sense for everybody. But at very least, it's probably worth a call and to do a supply chain, not just cost analysis, but just an entire analysis and see what's going on. And if you haven't had that already, and I'm not talking about just an Excel file. So feel free to reach out. But yes, let's recap this. Know your key cost drivers, right? They're specific to everybody, but one of those key cost drivers that is across the board, especially going into big box, that should be mandatory for every CPG, every company that's going into big box, should be a root cause analysis, quota versus build. And, again, to figure out these chargebacks, you need vendor scorecards. Carrier scorecards are a huge thing, and you should be looking. Your vendor should already be doing that. If they're not, again, another reason why you should probably reach out to me. So that's 1. 2, don't treat your supply chain like an auction. Seriously, go with 1-3PL that can do it all. You're just going to be better off. You're going to be in a better place. You just are. So that's my rant. Peace.